Welcome to the Lone Wolf. Tonight we're going to look at the Dallas Mavericks before they face the Timberwolves. What you're going to be watching here is the defense that Dallas is facing, and keep in mind Minnesota's style of defense. Now this is Kyrie just being Kyrie. It's going to be a fun matchup between Kyrie and Ant. Now SGA is finesse. He does not have the power that Ant does. So Dallas can play this lack kind of defense. I'm so curious how Dallas is going to handle it. That's pretty right there. So watch this defense here by Oklahoma. And Dallas is not going to be facing this style of defense. This crossover is wicked. Left you. Oh, that's so cold-blooded. He's lucky that didn't fall, right? So right here, what you're going to see is a move that Mike Conley can do. Now Dallas has to contend with that, as well as our three drivers. Now watch this. Kyrie's going to put on his Ant-Man speed, gets down there and dishes just like we would with Naz Reid. The difference is that Gafford's going to have to deal with Naz Reid. Oops. And this is my thing. Dallas just beat SGA, but SGA is a slimmer version of Ant. Ant can do everything SGA does. SGA can't do everything Ant does. Get it? So watch Kyrie get scared of Chet. Just throws it up there now. Kyrie's going to be running into Gobert and Jaden McDaniels. Chet should have been Rookie of the Year in my opinion. What you want to watch here is how all the Mavs just stand around. They're just standing. Luka was jumping up and down complaining. Play through the call, man. And that's what the Wolves have turned around. The Wolves now play through the call. I get it. It's a close game, and they are trying to fight back into it in the third quarter here, but Luka's got to not jump up and down. This next clip is where the Wolves came from. They no longer play this style of defense, and it took about 4 years for it to sink in. It makes SJ mad. So Dallas is not a quitting team. They etched themselves back in. They were down 17. Now they're within 12, and it's about to be 11. And, of course, you know they come back to win. So Dallas is not a quitter. Watch P.J. Washington and Williams fight for this ball right here. Look at it. It's playoff basketball. Look at him. That's awesome. So I tell you what, you know that Luka is not going to be guarding Ant-Man unless he absolutely has to. He won't pick him up on a switch because look what SGA does. Oh, man. Ant-Man's up in the air right there. Pass Lively. This is going to be a fun game. And Kyrie's not going to be able to do what he does right here. Naz and Gobert and Cad are too strong for that. Ant-Man's too strong for that. Even Jaden McDaniels too strong for that. Chet's got to hit the weights. You know, a hot hand can absolutely change the game, and Dallas has a bunch of streaky players with two really good ones. Here goes a streaky one. Woo! Now, what you're going to see in the fourth quarter starting here is either Chet's inexperience or his undersize. Watch as he gets worked for this rebound by Lively. Yeah, Lively's not going to get that board in Minnesota. He didn't there, did he? Man. Hot hands versus cold hands. And cold. The Wolves have done a really good job about knowing who's going after boards so you don't have them crashing into one another like that. Watch PJ try to do his best Naz Reid impersonation. Oh, just not quite there. Watch how out of sync Dallas is on this play with this simple lob. The Wolves have multiple players to run this with. We can run this all night from the looks of it. Oops. Watch this play. I don't think the Dallas Mavericks will ever have the luxury of a man being this open facing the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Nuggets didn't. Ask the Nuggets how it went. This is beautiful right here, though. Dish! And smokes him. Smokes him. If this is the way Dallas is going to play defense tomorrow, it's going to be a blowout like we haven't seen yet from the Wolves. Every now and then, Irving will give a flash of what I remember. Ant-Man is doing a good job of stepping into his shoes at the elbow. On this next play, neither team has hustle. Take a look at this loose ball coming up, the 50-50 ball. Oklahoma doesn't even dive for it, you know. I just don't get it. And SJ start crying about a foul. Like I said, you've got to play through it. Every now and then you might get a makeup foul. That's what this is right here. Take a look at this defense coming up. Watch how Dallas lines up. Look at that zone. There's no way they're going to throw this out there with Minnesota. Minnesota will pick that apart. I am so curious how Dallas plans to defend Minnesota. Oops. Luka was dragging his leg. This zone defense will absolutely not work against the Wolves, but it does here against Oklahoma because they don't have drivers like we have. Oklahoma simply doesn't have the talent we have. Watch. Man, they're keeping them on the out. Shot clock's down to 2. Couldn't hit it. This is why I love Luka. It's a dying art. Elbow shots are a dying art. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. And, money. Oklahoma's going to have to come up with some new stuff because everyone now sees zones, messes them up. Watch this. Zone defense, and they just throw the ball away. It's not good. Now, this clip is more about the streaky players and the inexperience of Lively. Here goes a streaky player taking a shot, missed, and there's Lively over the back of Chet. That's just inexperience. What you're going to see here is another zone defense with some ball rotation, and the defense actually rolls really nice with this contest. But this is not a defense that Dallas is going to be able to play because OKC doesn't dive for the balls like Minnesota. Minnesota goes after the balls, man. I put this in here just to show Kyrie's not as scary as he used to be. Now, I'm a Kyrie fan, but he sees it. He sees it, so he's going to call his own number. Check it out. Here's my shot. Think. And then a board. So after that missed shot, what's going to happen? Let's take a look. They're dropping back into that zone. How are they going to play it? Slicing and dicing. This is what Minnesota does. Too late on the out. Isaiah Joe made him pay for it. Now on this one here, you can't lower your shoulder, but you also cannot cry. That should have been a foul. And now here you go. Nice one. There's Lively looking lively. All right, well, how about we take a look at Cat and the Wolves. Here's some in-game footage that I had when I went to Game 6. This is why you can't play zone against Minnesota. Watch what Cat does. I'm going to take a 3. Ha-ha. Boom. All night long. Now you get to see how the Wolves play defense, and this is what Dallas is going to have to contend with. They get back, and everybody's assigned a man. They switch. So here you go. And here comes Joker. They're running it. He puts his shoulder down. You can't do that, and they call the foul. Now, I know it's tic-tacky, but how many times are you going to let him do that? He does it all the time. I like Joker, but come on. Right here, Gobert runs off Reggie Jackson. And then, remember I was talking about Mike Conley and SGA doing that stop, shoot? Boom. Nah. As in Nickeil Alexander-Walker can do it too. And then it's right back on to defense. Look at that. Dallas is going to have to get used to working without pay. Watch how hard the Nuggets work at this here. They're doing a lot of movement. They're trying. That defense is right on top of them, smothering. They're switching. Nowhere to go. Kicks it out. Tries to do something. Comes inside. Faces Naz Reid. No good. Gobert on the board. Doesn't look good for Dallas.